Hey guys, it's Tim and welcome back to your official 101 course on the Predator. Our goal is to make everyone watching this able to say once we're done that they're an expert on the Predator franchise, or at the very least can hold their own. Today is part 2 of our lecture where we're going to go into the Yautja honor code and the tools of the trade. If you missed part 1, check out CJ's video from Monday where he went over the basics of the Predator franchise and the Yautja species. But without further ado, this is Predator Lesson 2. As hunters, the Yautja hold a very strict code of honor that dictates how and when they can hunt and how they're allowed to operate doing it. These are the strictest laws that the predators adhere to and play out more like their constitution than anything else. If a predator were to break one of these codes, even if it was done unwillingly or accidentally, it is viewed as an irredeemable offense. However, rulings are more loose if high-ranked and seasoned warriors or novices break one of these codes. If a Yautja were to break one of these codes, they'd be deemed bad blood, a term we'll return to in part 3, and are considered fair game for other, more honorable hunters. There are even Yautja known as arbitrators whose role it is to specifically hunt down code breakers. There are 12 known codes that the predators must adhere to, the first being hunting-worthy game. This means that your target must be at the very least able to defend itself, or even be able to kill the predator given the chance. They also can't attack anyone who's ill as it's viewed as bad sport, or a creature that's supporting another person's life, like a pregnant woman. The target must also be of the correct age, so they can't hurt a child or the elderly. They'll also attempt to even the odds between them and their prey if possible, like not using ranged weapons if their target doesn't possess ranged abilities. The second code is in regards to what happens if a predator fails a hunt. Basically, if a predator fails to defeat their prey, and doesn't die in the process, they must kill themselves rather than live in shame. If they cower away from this, the arbitrators will track them down and assist in their suicide. The third code talks about claiming another hunter's kill. If a predator were to attempt to claim a trophy of another predator, alive or dead, they'll be abandoned by their clan and stranded on the world of the hunt with no tools or weapons. This is even worse if the hunter is alive and injured, and the other chooses to ignore them and target their trophy instead. The fourth rule is about killing another predator. If they were to do this intentionally, this is viewed as the worst possible crime. However, this excludes killing in self-defense or killing your opponent in a wrestling match done to settle a dispute. As an extension of this, Code 5 is to never harm an innocent. If another predator has done nothing to you, you must do nothing to them. This obviously excludes those deemed bad blood. Rule 6 talks about hunting for food. When doing so, you must only take the weak to help purify that race and make them stronger. And the 7th code talks about wounded prey. If you come across another predator's game and they're wounded, one of two things will happen. If the prey has sport left in them, you're allowed to kill them and it'll be considered a shared trophy. But if the prey has given up, you must leave them. The 8th code talked even more specifically about shared hunts. Basically, with this point, if you don't have the permission of the primary hunter to join them in the hunt, or to hunt on their territory in general, you have no right to claim any trophies there. If you do hunt without their permission, it's considered theft, and the primary party is allowed to seek retribution. Code 9 is basically the mercy rule, wherein if a target bests you or defeats something that's considered more dangerous than them by the predators, they'll immediately be declared an equal. This means one of two things will happen. You either kill them while you're killing yourself, like was done in Predator, or you give them a gift, like was done in Alien vs. Predator. I guess this depends on whether or not the individual predator is bothered by the other species being considered equal to theirs. Code 10 says that anyone who breaks these codes must immediately be removed from Yautja society and must be killed on sight if discovered. The 11th basically reiterates things that were said in the first, namely that you can't injure the ill, children, or the pregnant. However, it elaborates here that you can hurt the ill if they attack first, but even if armed, the pregnant and children are off limits. And finally, if you're in a duel with an enemy, you must uncloak, and you must do so at the climax of the fight. The Yautja are nothing if not thespians. So now you know how the Yautja can hunt, but what do they hunt with? They have a number of tools of the trade that they can potentially use, though the loadout will vary from hunter to hunter. First we have the Biomask, which is a face-concealing metal mask with a number of built-in features, including infrared and ultraviolet vision, an audio and video recording device, and a targeting system for the plasma caster that forms 3 red points in a triangle shape. Then we have the Cloak, which is usually reserved for prey who can shoot back. The cloak bends light around the wearer to make them almost invisible to the naked eye. However, if they move in this state, it's possible to see the bending effect. Should a predator be damaged, they have a Medicom, which is a small case filled with medical tools, including minor surgical ones. So basically, it's a first aid kit. The predator also wears light and strong plate armor that's bullet and xenomorph bloodproof, though it can be pierced by a xenomorph tail. And they have the SATCOM, which is a device that scans the immediate area and projects a full 3D map of it. There's also the Energy Sift, which is basically a portable charger for their gear, and a charge emitter, which works like an EMP to short out electronic devices. And that's just their gear. They have multiple weapons to choose from. The main one being the Plasma Caster, a shoulder-mounted cannon that fires a guided armor-piercing plasma bolt with splash damage effects. Other weapons include a plasma pistol, which is basically a smaller caster, 2 8-inch long retractable wrist blades, a combi stick, which is a collapsible spear weapon, and smart discs, which are razor-sharp circular weapons that can be guided like boomerangs. Predators have also been known to use net guns, whips, shurikens, proximity mines, and remote bombs. Now that you know what goes into a hunt, join me back here on Friday for the final part of this 101, where I'll cover bad blood, the relationship to the xenomorphs, the predator clans, and more. But until then, this has been Tim from the Hybrid Network, signing out.